So the first thing I would do is not copy an exact painting that already exists. I would actually create a fake that looked like it belonged to the artist, but wasn't the same as a painting that already exists. Having made that decision, I would source a 17th century Dutch canvas. Because there's so many Dutch Golden Age paintings that are out there, it's actually possible to find one that's maybe been badly damaged. Maybe you get a larger canvas, you break it down into a smaller canvas, strip it back, but you want to be careful when you strip it back with solvents and you take off the top layers, the film layers of paint, that you don't strip everything back. One of the things that forgers do is they protect what's called the surface signature of a painting, and that starts kind of deep down in the lower layers of the painting. So you want to strip it down but leave a lot of the ground, that lower layer, intact, and then you would build it up with pale chalk, because you could sketch with pale chalk but it's not going to show up in an x-ray. Begin to paint it. Hopefully you've got some skills in that area, which I don't. And then you would apply glazes, because the Dutch glazed and varnished their paintings. And then you would do things like you would let it dry for a month under ultraviolet light, and that begins to oxidize some of the varnish. Because a favorite kind of dealer trick is to run an ultraviolet light over a painting to see if the varnish fluoresces. And then finally you would put it in a furnace room, kind of away from the main source of heat, for a month to dry out all the paints. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, you would add secatives, which are these drying agents, to pigments so that they fully harden, because oil paints take about 50 years to harden. So with that, you have the beginnings of a 17th century forgery.